Investors, I got some insider information for you about a cheap 3-cent stock where you could double or even triple your money potentially in the next couple of weeks. Now, I know you all laughed last time I told you about this, and guess what happened? That stock more than doubled in 48 hours, just like I told you it could potentially. Now, the stock is New World Solutions, REGRF. REGRF is the symbol over the counter. News, NEWS, is the symbol in Canada, RT5 in Frankfurt. Now, let me tell you what could make the stock potentially double or even triple in the next couple of weeks. Now, I'm doing this video. This is already, October 2nd. Let me tell you what is the catalyst to make the stock explode. Now, last time I told you this information, I think it was in July, I said that once this announcement is going to come, I didn't tell you the symbol at the time. I said you got to subscribe to my newsletter. We're going to put it out the day of the announcement. Because again, we got to do it legally. We got to do everything legally. We don't want you to go to jail, right? Now, by the way, I'm the chairman of the company. Okay, I'm the chairman of New World Solutions. So everything I'm telling you is direct from the source. That's right. It is illegal insider information. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what could make the stock double or triple. Now, keep in mind, when I told you about the stock, it was trading around a penny and a half, and it went to 3.5 cents the day of the announcement. Okay, so exactly what I told you would happen happened. Okay, it happened actually faster. Now, right now, the stock is trading at around 3.5 cents Canadian today. And let me tell you what could make the stock double or triple. By the way, the stock is already up. It's more than doubled in the last 30 days. Okay, so it's doubled. It's up there. Volume is exploding. If you look at the volume, it's exploding. Now, we got a beautiful chart setup. If you know anything about stock charts, you got a beautiful double bottom. You're breaking out of the 50 and the 200-day moving average. So this thing is set to explode. Now, by the way, I'm not just the chairman of the company. They call me the $1 trillion man, okay? My name is Jack Marks. I wrote the #1 bestseller book called 10-Bagger Blueprint. You can get this on Amazon, and it talks about my proven system for how you can find stocks that go 10x, 100x or more. That's right, we're talking about stocks where you can make 10 times or even 100 times your money. In the last couple of years, I've already given you guys 12 stocks that increased between 1,000 and 5,000%. In fact, the last time I had a stock this cheap, and by the way, I'm embarrassed to be talking to you about these cheap penny stocks, 2 cents. I mean, that's a joke, right? But the last time we had a cheap 5-cent stock, it went from a nickel to $2.50 in 4 months. That was CBDT. That's right, people made literally 50 times their money, life-changing wealth. If you go to 10baggerblueprint.com, I got testimonial letters from people who had changed their life. People bought houses, all sorts of stuff, cars, who knows, right? Hopefully they still have the money because that stock ended up going to zero, basically, because after we stopped working with them, the CEO wasn't paying it, he wasn't listening to advice. These guys, they think they know everything, right? Now, let's talk about how New World Solutions, REGRF, could potentially double or triple. Okay, so this company is a pure play on the $31 billion luxury watch market. That's right, this is the only pure play stock. And what we're doing is we're developing a digital platform that combines content, commerce, and community to serve this $31 billion market. We're talking about, Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, luxury watches, stuff that's, I don't know what, it could be $5,000 and up, whatever, Omega even. So we got 18,000. Let me tell you something that people don't know. Let me tell you what the market does not know. And if the market understood this, the stock could be trading at probably 25 cents today, potentially, okay? We got 18,000 members in our community, people in our community between YouTube, Instagram, email lists. We got about 18,000 serious collectors. Okay, these are guys who, at the low end, they may have, a couple of watches like Rolex or Omega, $10,000, $20,000. At the high end, we got guys with, $2 to $5 million watch collections. That's right, $2 to $5 million or even more, okay? Some heavy hitters, right? So we get about 40 of these heavy hitters with, $2 to $5 million collection, and it's $100 million. And we get about 10,000 regular guys who have, watches like this, which is like an $8,000 to $10,000, Rolex, right? If you do the math, that's $200 million. Okay, so we got $200 million in what I call, potential inventory or transaction volume. Okay, now let's do the math. I'm going to tell you exactly how this stock could potentially be a 50-cent stock. What is the path for this thing to make you 20 times your money or more in the next couple of months? And I'll tell you exactly what could make the stock explode, even double or triple in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so we're looking at some potential mergers and acquisitions. We're looking at acquiring a couple of companies that are doing between $3 million and $20 million in revenues. Okay, we're in early stage discussions. I'm going to go into that in just a second. Okay, so put that, write that down. So we're in early stage talks to acquire, merge in with companies, watch dealers that already have established businesses doing $3 million to $20 million in revenue. So that could make us, instantly, explode in terms of revenues. Now, again, I told you we got $200 million in potential transaction volume. Now, if you do the math, I really believe we can get about roughly 5% of that audience to transact with us. So meaning that's worth about $10 million a year, okay, in revenue, okay? So that's worth $10 million a year. And the market, here's the thing, as a public company, the market values businesses which are growing fast at like 10 times revenue. That's how it works, right? So if we're doing 10 million in sales, that means the stock should be worth how much? $100 million. That's right. That means the stock, the company would be worth $100 million. Now, how much do you make? Well, you divide that by the number of shares outstanding. So let's say there's 200 million shares. That would mean 50 cents a share. That's right. Right now the stock is 3 cents, and potentially it could be worth 50 cents a share if we do $10 million in revenue. Now, how do we do $10 million in revenue? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Well, we have we're going on two parallel tracks. Number one is we're going to be launching our e-commerce platform. So organically, right? We're going to build a platform. It's going to get going. Okay, that's number one. But I'm not happy to do it slowly. I'm not happy if it takes. I need it to happen quickly. Okay, my goal is to make this stock literally go to the moon as fast as possible. Okay, my goal is to make this 100 bag. That's my personal goal. I'm not saying it's going to go there. I'm not saying whatever. But my goal is to make the stock become a $3 to $5 stock as fast as humanly possible, legally, morally, and ethically, right? Again, we got to do things, legal way. But yeah, that's my goal. Okay, I'm just sharing with you my personal goal. By the way, any CEO or chairman that's not their goal to make a stock go up 100 times should be fired. They're not doing their job. That should be the job of every CEO and chairman, is to make the shareholders rich. Now, so while we're looking at launching the platform organically, I want to bring in some of these potential acquisitions to speed things up, because I don't want to spend a couple of months fooling around, because listen, I'm in business since I'm in my early 20s. I mean, anytime you start a business, it always takes longer than you think, right? So why not buy an existing business? So that's what we're doing. We're looking at these companies. We're in early stage discussions right now. These guys are doing between $3 million and $20 million. Now, I wanted to put out a press release today, but the Canadian regulators, it's a nanny state. They're very particular. They say, and I wanted to explain to them what I'm telling you right here, which is exactly the type of companies we're looking for, etc. But it's, you can't announce this because, unless you have a definitive agreement signed. Okay. So I'll tell you what. I know that as soon as we announce the LOI, as soon as we announce we have a deal, the stock probably will double or even triple within a couple of days. Okay, so that is the catalyst. If and when we announce that we have signed an LOI, which means a letter of intent, to acquire one of these watch dealers, a guy doing 3 million, 20 million, whatever the number is, could be. Again, we have a pipeline of these guys. Look, I got guys doing 5 million. I'm talking to. I got guys who are doing 100 million. Okay, now the 100 million guys, we're a little bit early. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Could happen maybe a year from now. Who knows? But it's not happening right now. But we do have those guys in the pipeline. Now, again, we got a bunch of different potential acquisition candidates. What's gonna actually close? Who knows? I don't know. It's like sales. Anytime any of you guys who do sales, you got to have a pipeline. You got to have leads, right? You call 100 guys. 90 of them hang up the phone on you, and one buys, right? That's how it works. So that's the same thing here with mergers and acquisitions. Same exact idea. Any of you guys Dan Pena fans? You know how it works, right? Dan Pena, the $1 trillion. I'm the real $1 trillion man, because I actually did create $1 trillion in wealth for shareholders. Dan, I don't know. Dan Pena, I'm not sure, but documented. I've worked with, I don't know, probably 10,000 public company clients over the last 25 years. WallStreetReporter.com, that's my main business. Anyway, not to go on a tangent, but here is the reality, guys. Here is the reality. Once we announce the LOI, I think the market is going to realize, wow, this thing is real. This thing is legit. Now, again, we already have built-in customers. We have 18,000 plus of these community members in our channel. And again, if you watch any of the videos on the Watch Reporter channel on YouTube, go to YouTube, Watch Reporter channel, and see if it's real. In the hedge fund business, they call it a channel check. So, there's meaning you check on the customer channel. Retail channel, not YouTube channel, but it's the same idea. You can see discussions with real people in our community, collectors who have real collections, whether it's 10 grand, whether it's 2 million, 5. Yeah, if you go to the YouTube channel, Watch Reporter, you can see some of these guys on our channel who have like five, probably, I don't know, we have, well, not five, we have a guy with a $3 million watch collection, $1 million watch collection. These are guys in our community, right? And they're going to do business with us. Okay, so how many of them do business, how much they're going to buy, we don't know, but we have them. We're sitting on a gold mine, guys. We are sitting on a gold mine. Okay, you have to understand this. 18,000 of these guys are going to trend, and by the way, that's growing. It's not just stopped at 18,000. It's going to grow. We're just getting started. We're in the first year. Okay, so what that means is, a year from now, it'll probably be double or even triple that. Okay, we started this thing like 9 months ago in January. This company is like basically 9 months old. All right, so we're in the early stages, and once we announce this potential acquisition, people are going to realize, oh shit, right? That's how people think, right? That is how stupid the market is. Okay, and so if you read my book, 10 Bagger Blueprint, you'll understand this. Look, the market, you got to do the opposite of what the market is, right? You make your money by going in the opposite direction, right? When people are afraid, right? When people are, you got to buy when things are not in favor, right? You can't chase stocks. You got to buy early before people figure it out. By the time they figure it out, that's when you start selling. Okay. Now, am I saying you should sell when the stock doubles? Hey, I'm not saying what you should do with your money. It's not my business. I couldn't care less what you do. Okay. I don't even care if you short the stock. In fact, I hope you do short the stock, because we want to create a massive short squeeze in the stock. That would be great for the stock, actually. So, bottom line is this, guys. Put this on your watch list. Okay, nothing here is investment advice. It should be considered issuer-sponsored content. Again, very, very high-risk stock. It could go to zero potentially. You never know, right? But we do have a serious M&A pipeline. Early stage, again, nothing definitive signed yet. But we're going to update the market. Now, what are the companies we're talking to? This was going to be in the press release, and of course, which we couldn't have. But here's what I'm looking for. The acquisitions have to be accretive, okay? It's got to create shareholder value. So we're not going to do anything that's dilutive. We cannot do anything dilutive. It's got to create shareholder value. Number two is, we're looking for companies that have a synergistic business model, inventory, and a culture. Meaning, we want to have a guy. A lot of these watch dealers, they're like used car salesmen. They're like, you got to take a shower. You feel like after you're done talking, you feel like you got to take a shower. They're so like sleazy, some of these watch dealers, right? So we want to have something which is a high quality service, where people really get quality service. They get a fair price when they sell. They buy at a fair price. They get service. If there's any issues, it's taken care of. And they also have to have the right inventory that matches our audience, right? So our audience is interested mostly in Rolex, Patek Philippe, modern vintage things like that. Even some 70s vintage things, etc. Right? So we're looking at guys who do vintage, stuff like Piaget, Patek, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but also modern Rolex, Richard Mille, Audemars Piguet. Not so much the independent brands, because that's a little bit of a niche thing. So like things like MB&F, we can't do anything with. We're looking for basically things that are compatible with most of our audience, and where there's going to be a synergistic fit. Why? Because we want to create revenues right away, right? We want to have a situation where the revenues could literally explode in the first couple of months, right? So again, as soon as we announce this LOI, the market is going to realize that this is a real business, and they're gonna totally the stock is going to be repriced. I don't believe the stock is going to be trading at 3.5 cents anymore. I think we'll probably be at 10, 12 cents when that happens. Again, that's my opinion. That's not advice. I'm not saying it's going there. I'm saying the stock is very high risk. I'm saying potentially, the market is going to understand the possibility. They're going to start doing the math. They're going to start doing the exercise that we just did right now, which is, okay, these guys potentially have 200 million of transaction value. Once they combine that with a dealer platform, they can monetize that, and all of a sudden, XYZ, they could see how $100 million of value could be created, right? So again, I talked about $100 million valuation potentially. If we do that, 10 million, which is roughly 50 cents a share, right? The stock today is 3 cents a share. So the market is forward-looking. This is very important. I'm going to share with you something very, very important. So the market, this is the trick to stocks. The market prices stocks in advance. You know, it's like buy the rumor, sell the news. So what I believe is going to happen is once they see the possibility that we could actually create that 10 million revenues and can get to that 100 million valuation, meaning 50 cents a share, the stock is going to go probably 25% of the way there, which is usually what happens, maybe even 30% of the way there. So I think we could see a move to 15 to 20 cents once people understand that road. Okay, so the path for the stock to increase to 15 or 20 cents is when investors can understand, they have clarity, they see visibility into the potential and the possibility or probability of $10 million in revenues happening. Is it going to happen? You know, it's not a sure thing, but you know, people basically, the market kind of does the math and they kind of figure out what's the possibility or probability of this happening. And that's how it works, right? I'm just telling you analysis here. Again, if you read my book, 10 Bagger Blueprint, I highly suggest you get this on Amazon because that'll tell you everything you need to know so that you can make informed decisions about stocks. You know when to buy, when to sell. You understand technical analysis. Get it on Amazon. It's a #1 bestseller. And here's to your 100x.